Brothers, we're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
I think we're working, guys. I think it's working.
Are we on? Are we live?
It says live. We're going to hope for the best, y'all. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Joe Castro, a.k.a. Philly Fresco, here with my brother from another big game, James, man. And today, we got a special guest, a guy that can honestly be part of this whole best of enemy shtick because he's a really good friend of ours, George Carmi. George, what's going on, brother? How you been, man?
What's good, man? Been a long time. I miss you guys. How you guys doing?
It's been too long. How you doing, James?
I'm doing good. Good to see my dog George back in the building. We're gonna have a good talk because I done already told him I don't like you. I already hated you, Commanders. Y'all was already number one. People like, oh man, ain't no rivalry with no Commanders no more. It always is with me. Yeah, now that you got that, the rivalry is back.
I love it. I'm in.
Reignited. It's going to be fun. So today we are going to talk a lot about the Commanders, mainly about the Commanders, but I do want to start off with a little bit of breaking news on the Eagles side. Obviously, they did trade.
Tell me I was right, Joe.
You were right. So I thought, I was told by a lot of people that I trust that they were working hard on an extension that was going to, and by looking at the trade price that we got, it feels like they didn't have a lot of offers, so I'm sure that was kind of true, that they just weren't getting offers they wanted. But we got up 2026 third-round pick that could turn into a second-round pick depending on his play time and his production. I know a lot of Eagles fans are upset. I'm a little bit upset. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'll raise my volume up. They say I'm too low. I'm upset. I'm going to be real. I'm upset. I think that we could have gotten more. I do think that the Eagles could have gotten more. But at the same time, it does free up $14 million, somewhere in that area this year. And then next year, you save some money as well. And if that does turn into a second round pick, you look at the Jets 2 years from now, that's going to be, post Aaron Rodgers, most likely. What will they be? Maybe it's a high premium pick. I don't know. I don't hate the trade. I don't love the trade. It is what it is. I don't think it was a great trade, but I think it was probably the best they could get. As far as enemies go, when you guys look at the Eagles now, Hassan Reddick-less, I guess we'll start with George since you are the guest. How do you guys feel about this?
I think it's a downgrade, man. I mean, Hassan Reddick's a good player. I don't understand why you guys let him go. I was going to ask you about that. Is it because of the money, the finances, or like what's going on there? Because I think replacing him with Bryce Huff is a good replacement. He's a little bit younger, I think, too. But the fact that like Bryce Huff was more of a rotational player, and his 10 sacks were a pop. It was like 1, 2, 5, 10. It kind of came out of nowhere, not necessarily the consistency that Reddick has. Like as a Commander fan, I'm more intimidated by Reddick than I am by Huff. So that's why I'm like, all right, like from our perspective, you got Huff, you got Barkley, but it seems like the Eagles are kind of scrambling a little bit right now this offseason. I don't know if you feel that way at all, but like that's what I'm feeling a little bit.
As far as Reddick, I think it was money. It was a little bit of, it was mainly probably money. Okay. We do have people that we got to pay, and he wanted more money, and we just weren't going to pay that to a 30-year-old. I will say kudos to Howie Roseman for making a tough decision. But I agree with you. I think Bryce Huff, we're trying to talk ourselves into him right now, but we'll see what happens. Hassan Reddick did, if you want to talk about his play, he did fall off towards the end of the year last year, but who didn't? I think our towel boy was even washing the towels incorrectly. It was bad all around for the later half of the year. But, I like the Saquon Barkley pickup. I think that was a perfect pickup for us. But I think with the Hassan Reddick thing, I don't want to say scrambling. I think that we knew that we were going to have to make some unfavorable decisions, but I agree with you. I can't disagree with you. It is a downgrade in my opinion, but there are things that he can't do. I've said this before. I don't think that he's the greatest in run defense. He's not really an asset. I hate to call him a liability, but he's not an asset in pass coverage. So I think that kind of played into it as well. But
the fact that you're getting some like draft compensation in return is a good call. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to trade someone while they still have value to get some draft picks in return to kind of build up your team. So I can see that part of it. Yeah.
How you feeling, James? I know you probably happy about it, James.
I mean, Hassan Reddick, I ain't scared. Wasn't nobody scared of no Hassan Reddick. Okay, y'all the one was making that comparison to him and Michael Parsons, and it wasn't comparison. Michael Parsons better than him. I don't care what you say, he younger, he better.
I've always said that. That
was that big comparison. There ain't no comparison, but I will say this: I think it's a smart thing by Philly. I told you once you listen to the GMs and you hear how they talk, and they were saying, well, we wish, it almost felt like we wish the best for Hassan. Everything would work out. I'm like, okay, that's the goodbye. When they say we wish the best, that's the goodbye. See you later. You want too much money. We got a lot of young players here. This is the nature of the beast. Like you said, he's at 30 years old. You brought him in for one job, and he got that job done. He helped y'all get to the Super Bowl. I mean, he's the one that hurt Brock Purdy in that Super Bowl to help y'all get there, because y'all saw when y'all played Brock Purdy again, he whipped y'all ass. Excuse my language. So that was great what Hassan Reddick did to the year before, but I thought Hassan Reddick was a very good player. I'm not going to deny that. He's a very good player, but the key is 30 years old. Yeah. It's a young man's game. Nobody's going to be paying that top dollar money for a person who can just really rush the passer. Like you said, not great in coverage, not great in the run game. I don't think he's great in the run game either. So you're limited to being as a pass rusher. So why would you pay that much money for a guy who can just really play one role? You got another guy in. You drafted a guy from Georgia, Nolan from Georgia. Now let's see what you can do. Now you got cheaper options. Yeah, it might hurt a little bit, but in the long run, you save some money. You can go out and maybe get some people. I think it's a better trade to me, in my opinion, because you're not trying to throw that money to a 30-year-old who can really do one thing.
Yeah, I respect that. And that's honestly been my argument. I hate to see him go. Not happy that he's leaving, but that is my argument. He's a one-trick pony, unfortunately, and sacks are very important. And I've seen this out there in the Twitter sphere that people are like, oh, now sacks are going to be overrated. No, what Hassan Reddick has done is never going to be, forgotten. We love what Hassan Reddick did for us, even though it was a short time. But it's true. You have to find guys that can do a little bit of everything. You look at all these other guys getting 25+ mil a year. They can stop the run. You know what I'm saying? At the very least. So I agree with you guys. It is what it is. We'll see what happens with Huff, I guess. And we'll see what happens with the Jets in 2 years. We'll revisit this in 2 years.
They're going all in over there.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, you got a 50-year-old quarterback, you know what I'm saying, who might be vice president.
Right.
So you got to do what you got to do. But today is going to be mainly about the Commanders. I wanted to, get that out the way because I know people want to talk about that. But you guys have made some moves, man, and much to the dismay of my consigliere right here. I know he's
consigliere. I like that.
You like that? You like that? I'm watching too many gangster flicks lately.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah, but no, look, you guys have been doing some things. Last show, it was funny because we kind of talked about it. We're like, should we be worried about the Washington Commanders? First person we thought of was you. So first question I want to ask is kind of an overarching question. What are your thoughts on this offseason so far? How are you feeling about what the Washington Commanders have done with a new coach?
I think we love it, guys. I think we really do. It's kind of the sky's the limit. I think we understand that we are rebuilding. Like the talk in DC, whenever it comes out of Dan Quinn's mouth and Adam Peters' mouth is recalibrating, is what we keep hearing over and over again. And we'll see what truly happens. But I think with our free agency class this past offseason, we built like a pretty high floor. We completely gutted our roster. Like I think we were the most active free agent team in the NFL, adding 17 different players, like 17 guys. That changes the entire roster. And I just think that the fact that we were building from scratch is exciting. I think it all starts with Adam Peters, as you guys know. We basically we had a coach-centric model. Me and James talked about it last time we were on the show. Ron Rivera was a good inspirational leader, but his voice was being lost over time, and eventually he doesn't have a good eye for talent. For like our draft picks have been missing for years and years, and then basically and that's been hurting our overall team. So we got the most highly coveted GM across the NFL, Adam Peters, from the 49ers, building up a great team. He was our number one draft pick, and we got him, so he's on our team. And I think we're building it from scratch. Going back to our coach, now I'll talk to James about. I know he's kind of mad at me right now, but Dan Quinn. we were upset. Like I'll be honest with you, we wanted Ben Johnson. We wanted Ben Johnson, Mike McDonald as our potential coaches, and then basically we kind of settled on Dan Quinn, and all of us were like, all right, the defense was awesome in Dallas. Hopefully, he'll kind of bring it over here to DC. But what he's done is built a stacked coaching staff. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to it, but like our coaching staff is like, it's fire, man. Like I think the biggest thing I'm worried about is the chemistry with our coaching staff because we have a lot of different people. We have like a hodgepodge of like Seahawks, 49ers, Cowboys all mixed together on our team. Will it actually work well? So I kind of pause on that if you want to answer. I don't want to ramble too long, but I'm happy with the coaching staff so far right there. Let me talk about players in a moment.
They basically took all the players all the coaches that have had success against the Eagles as of late. I don't want to talk too much about the Cowboys because I don't know, but I know the Seahawks have given us issues. Obviously the 49ers, and obviously the Cowboys. So that's it. I hate it. But James, if you got any questions.
I mean, I'm gonna just say this. Dan Quinn, we ain't scared of Dan Quinn. Okay, I'm telling you right now, we are not scared of no Dan Quinn. I'm not hating on him. I am hating how he just left, and the main thing I'm hating on is that last playoff game. That's the thing that's bothering me because I heard people talking about Micah, but if you look, I went Micah's stats. He had very good stats his first 2 playoff games. He had 2 whole tackles this last playoff game. That whole defense just looked defeated in that game, and I just feel like there was just some stuff going on behind the scenes that they already knew what was really going on, and maybe that's why the effort wasn't there because they knew he was leaving. And that's the thing that bothers me about it. But y'all can have Dan Quinn. Y'all what?
I will say
what?
Would you
George?
Would you blame the defense or Dak Prescott on the Cowboys loss?
No, I'm not.
Dak Prescott he melted.
Okay, he did. But you see how easy that defense laid down. I'm gonna tell you right now. If y'all watch that game, I'm not making no excuses for Dak Prescott in that game. Yeah. But if you watched that game, our defense did not look right. Yeah. It looked like there was no emotion, there was no enthusiasm. It didn't look like there was anything there. So that tells me they knew something. Players aren't robots, and y'all know that. Yeah. Players know something that's going on. Why you think, like I said with college coaches, when they know a college coach, head coach is taking a job right before a bowl game, they get rid of him. Yeah. They let the assistant coach him because they know that team is not going to play with that same effort, knowing that my coach is gone. They're going to play with a different effort. That's why they get them out of there so they don't have that permeate with the team. I feel like that's what happened with the Cowboys, in my opinion.
To that end, go ahead. Real quick. To that end, I think it happened to all 3 of us, right? So, Joe, you can kind of touch on that with Sirianni.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
What I'm about to say, that's what happened in DC, too. I think Ron Rivera was a sitting duck, a lame duck, and I think we punted on the season. At the trade deadline, getting rid of Chase Young, getting rid of Montez Sweat, that ruined the locker room. And James, you and I talked about that ruined the locker room. And they basically were like, we're intentionally trying to tank to basically get a better draft pick. And I think that's why we ended 4-13. Like in the NFL, in my opinion, you have to try to be that bad, right? Like it's hard to be. It's built to be like a 6-10. Anywhere from 6-9 type of wins per season. We tanked to become 4-13. So I feel you. Like if you think that the team knew that Dan Quinn was leaving, then I can see that fall apart there. I can see that. Got you on that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, y'all took the staff. We had to block you from Al Harris. You wasn't getting him. We had to block you from Linda Wells.
Yeah, we wanted him bad.
You feel me? Y'all taking all these players, but like I said, if you looked at Dan Quinn when he was at Atlanta, go check out his staff. He had an all-star staff over there at Atlanta too, and that's the reason why I felt like they were winning. I don't feel like Dan Quinn is the best head coach, but he puts his great staff around him, and that makes it work. And in my opinion, it might be frosty for a couple years because that's what Dan Quinn does. The first couple years, he is out the box great, but long run, I don't see Dan Quinn being that guy. And I just listened to what you just said. Y'all really wanted Ben Johnson, and y'all settled on Dan Quinn. So I ain't worried about him no more.
All right.
Now, my question is, and shout out to everybody in the chat. We already got 150 people in the chat. We're live on 3 different channels right now. I believe we're on George's as well. Yep. So definitely go follow my guy, George, man. Does amazing content about the Commanders. So look, my big question is, last year, the year before, I feel like the conversation we always have is if y'all get a quarterback, watch out. If y'all get a quarterback, watch out. Do you, kind of a 2-part question, do you still feel like you're in that position that you just need a quarterback to be competitive? And do you think that this is the year? And obviously, we'll get into that a little bit more in depth when we get to the draft. But do you think this is the year you guys may be able to find your quarterback?
So, two-part question. In regard to our roster, I think there's still some holes. I'll be honest with you. I think there's still some holes. I think we're probably about a year away from really being a contender, really being a playoff like contention kind of type of team. But we'll see. We have a lot of draft ammunition. We'll talk about that a little bit during our mock draft actually later on today. I think getting our quarterback, I think we're in a prime position, guys. Sitting there at number 2, we have the pick of the litter. And I'm sure you guys are smart. All you guys on the chat as well. We're all smart people, right? Sitting there number 2, we have options, right? We have Drake May, who, high upside. People say Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, that huge arm, but can he get his footwork under control? We got Jaden Daniels, who's, is a scrambler. People saying that he has, I don't necessarily agree. They say he has Lamar Jackson tendencies and upside. I like that as well. JJ McCarthy is going up the board as well. I think we can walk away with a franchise quarterback. And my expectation is, maybe James will hate on this. I think our defense will be pretty damn good with Dan Quinn.
Yeah, you do.
I think our defense will be pretty good, and that'll kind of insulate our rookie quarterback. But then I think we also got to keep adding talent. Like Brian Robinson's a pretty solid running back. He actually shown up as a pass catcher under Eric Bieniemy last year, so he's kind of he's more of a power back, but he can catch the ball. We added Austin Eckler, which is another weapon there. I think we need another wide receiver. We have Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson, but I would love to get a wide receiver in the draft, and it's an awesome draft class. We'll talk about that today. So I think we'll slowly build, keep building up a little bit, and I think our team will be competitive. I think we'll be like, hopefully 7-win team, something like that. But I don't see us being a playoff team, but I kind of see us building up, and we'll see what happens.
You'll be better than the Giants. I have faith
in
you.
The Giants suck, but then beat the Commanders every time. Drives me crazy, man. Yeah.
So what were your thoughts when you guys did get rid of your quarterback? Because that was kind of Sam Howell. I mean, he wasn't maybe the franchise guy, but I think that me and James both agree that he was at the very least a high upside backup. I think that's fair to say. What was the thought process when that happened? How did you feel about it? How did the Commanders fan base feel about that?
So Sam Howell was a roller coaster for all year long for us, guys. I mean, you guys watch the NFC East games. And dude, Joe, against the Eagles, he played a damn good game. He had an awesome game against the Eagles. I guess I don't know if it was the first or second game. He was like 27 for 34. Nice. He was like throwing crazy. So all year long, we actually were like, is Sam Howell the guy? Like, we actually were like pretty optimistic about him. I think he just had bad circumstances. Like for one, Eric Bieniemy, like all the negative things you hear about, I don't want to like bash Eric Bieniemy, but like, we talked about him being stubborn, being like a burning the locker room, being like a drill sergeant. That showed up in DC. Like that reputation preceded him. He was definitely riding the veterans. He was he passed the ball like 67% of the time. Like there were times where Sam Howell as a rookie or as a he's a second-year player, but really a rookie, throwing the ball 50 times per game, sitting behind a bad offensive line that's getting crushed. And Sam Howell actually regressed as the year went on because he just was getting gun shy. He was getting hit all the time. Yeah. So at the end of the year, he threw 21 interceptions. And it was like, damn, like we could potentially grow with that. But I think it was kind of a circumstance, right? Since we're at number 2, it's like, what do you do, right? Are you going to really build around Sam Howell, or are we going to hope that we never get up here again, get a quarterback, keep it moving? I was under the mindset, hey, maybe we keep Sam Howell in the room, it's kind of have a backup, kind of keep him kind of developing over there. But I guess he's good friends with Drake May. Is that a weird dynamic if we select him and have 2 UNC quarterbacks in the same room? Is there a competition if Jaden Daniels comes? What happens if Sam Howell looks better? I think there's a lot of like weirdness and some tension in regard to that. So they got ahead of it and got a 3rd-round pick for him, man. So I mean, we had 3 3rd-round picks and 2 2nd-round picks. I mean, I think Sam Howell will. I think he'll play, and I think he'll start 1 game in Seattle this year. I don't think Sam Howell's story's over, but I think just like Hassan Reddick, sometimes you have to use your assets and maximize your profits, right? So I think that's kind of what happened there.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that he got the same return as Hassan Reddick.
3rd-round pick for him. That's crazy. And
more than Fields, more than Mac Jones, more than all that. That's more than Pickett. Yeah,
Amari Cooper. That just pisses me off when I heard that. Like Sam Howell went for a 3rd. Like that just tells me. That makes me mad about my organization. That just says that you don't really try. That just tells me if you really are in the negotiations, and if you really put your foot down, if you really good in them negotiations, you can get what you want. It's just so many teams like, just take them. That's what I feel like what happens with a lot of players. They just like, we don't want to deal with him no more. So we'll just take the 5th or the 6th or whatever. Just get out of here. Bye. And I think that's what happens. But the real teams that are really trying to be competitive and really trying to go at it, they're going to try to move. Nah, we ain't taking that fifth. We let's do this, let's do that, and move. You know what I'm saying? I feel like those real guys that are really in that room, that really trying to make their team better all the time, are really trying to find the best deal possible.
They are
and
always trying to maximize.
Always trying to maximize, and you getting a third round pick for Sam Howell. That's crazy to me, and that was some great GM dealing.
Yeah, we talk about ownership a lot on this show. We talk about ownership a lot in general, right? I think that it's very, very important to talk about y'all ownership, obviously going through the change. And we talked about it when it was happening, and that was kind of like the best thing that could happen to, Washington fans, was kind of getting out of the under the ownership that you had previously. Do you feel the difference? Because I mean, as far as Eagles, I've always had, Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman for most of my life. He's always had Jerry Jones. So we've never had to see really a different ownership, a change in ownership. Can you feel the difference? Can you see the difference?
Hallelujah, man. 100%. We're so happy out here, man. It's so funny. Now that, guys, we're sitting here just like y'all. We're watching what's happening in Carolina, kind of seeing that whole team with the Panthers and Tepper and what's going on over there. And we're like, damn, that was us. That's what was going on for years and years, having an owner that would just kind of put a glass ceiling on what we could become, And I think, having Harris as our owner, he is very diligent. He's really process oriented. He owns the Sixers. He owns what else? He owns the New Jersey Devils as well. He has a bunch of different professional teams that he oversees. And what he does is he hires the best people and sits back and lets it happen. Like, we had Dan Snyder making draft picks. Like, I'm sure you guys know, but like, the famous thing in DC was he was on a yacht, flew from his yacht to Ashburn, and told Jay Gruden to draft Dwayne Haskins, like, off the break. And Dwayne Haskins was like a third round rating in regard to that. And because his son went to Bullis, which is a high school here in DC, in Maryland, actually, and basically he wanted Dwayne Haskins on the team. So, like, over jumping the scouts and telling them what to do. So now we basically have our Harris, who's learning, who I like a lot, and just kind of sitting back. And I like it. I think he is process oriented. And they're analytical oriented as well. Like, one last thing I'll say is, besides getting Adam Peters, I think it's a great GM. They hired Eugene Shen. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He basically was he's the guy that ran all the analytics for the Ravens. And the Ravens are pretty much like one of the most analytically driven teams in the NFL. Eugene Shen is now on our team, and he's basically running the data, running the numbers. So, I love that. I just think he's more data driven. He's more process oriented. And we're moving away from Dan Snyder. Dan Snyder was never an athlete. He was more of a guy with a big check. He's more to kind of show off that he knew something. So I'm glad he's gone.
I got one last question. So if you want to ask any questions, James, feel free.
Well, I was just going to say, when we went to the Senior Bowl, when we went upstairs, Joe, we talked to the guys that were talking upstairs. They were talking about the Ravens were one of the most analytically inclined teams out there, that they really, really used it like no other, and they feel like it really helps put them over the top. And if you look, like, the Ravens are usually competitive every single year because they leave no stone unturned as far as they're checking their players, rehabbing, coaches, things of that nature. So I definitely get it. As I said before, that Sam Howell thing, I'm going to be interested what you guys do at that number 2. Are you going to trade it? Because you can get a lot of stuff. Teams are going to get desperate. Teams may want to get that quarterback, and you can get a litany of picks from you going to a 10 to a 2. You can just eat. So it already shows me that you guys already got a third round for Sam Howell. So it says like y'all might be willing to negotiate. But I'm gonna just tell you this: draft JJ McCarthy, please. Draft him. I'll feel good. Draft him. Draft him.
We need some. So shout out to everyone in the fan base. I see my boy Radar's in the chat as well. What's up, Radar?
Draft JJ McCarthy, please.
So, shameless plug, on Tuesdays I do a Commanders film room. I basically I don't know if you guys know who Mark Bullock is. He's a writer for The Athletic.
Yeah.
There's also Nick Ackridge, he is actually PFF. He writes for PFF Washington. On Tuesdays, me, my guy Big Doug, Mark, and Nick, we do film room every Tuesday. So if you guys just like football, like X's and O's, come watch it. And we broke down all the quarterbacks. We did McCarthy, we did Williams, we did May, we did Daniels, we did all of them. We're doing the free agents as well. And pretty much I'm happy with any one of those big four. I think McCarthy would be a stretch. I wouldn't necessarily want him at 2, potentially in a trade back situation. But James, I think sitting at 2 is why? When the Washington needs a quarterback, why don't we have the best pick of the litter, right? I think we had Caleb Williams out. We would love to have him back in DC. He's
Listen
in
to what
DC
Radar said.
JJ, wait for
Radar's my boy. I love him. He's funny as hell. Yeah, so you keep him apart from our team. But I like it. I think right now, I think there's a can't miss. Or not can't miss. I think there's a great opportunity at number 2 with May or Daniels. You pick either one of them, you're going to be all right. If we were to trade back, go back to 3, let's say that the Patriots really want one or the other, let them go up to 1, give us a second round pick or something crazy, just move up a little bit more. We just move back 1 and get the second best. That's fine with me. But they're both good, man. I don't know if you guys watched the tape, but Daniels is awesome. He truly is a dual threat quarterback. People are kind of like showing I don't want to cuss on the show. They're kind of showing their ass in regard to the film.
Mm-hmm.
He can play out of the pocket. People are like, he's just a runner. He's not a runner. He can throw out of the pocket. And then May's untapped, man. I think he has some potential, but he does have some mind-blowing throws. He's some bad throws in regard to that. So I say we're sticking with it. I think we're gonna stick at 2 and pick at 2 is what we're gonna do.
I always find it funny when because you're not the only one that does this. Like we both do it too. We always be like, oh, I don't want to curse, and then once the season comes, we don't know how not to curse. So it's
I got you. Okay,
but no, you're good. I appreciate it. But shout out to everybody. We got 175 people in the chat. I just put up George's link for his YouTube, so definitely go support my guy. Last question I want to ask before we get into the actual draft is, where you did say that you guys still have some holes. Is there a certain spot outside of quarterback? I think that's the most obvious.
Yeah.
Is there a certain spot outside of quarterback that you're looking at this draft in particular and saying we have to fill this hole?
Absolutely. So basically, for obviously quarterback, we want to get a new quarterback there. Offensive line's a huge concern. So I think today, I don't know if you with your mock draft simulator, I want to trade back up in the first round. That's what I want Washington to do. I want them to basically use one of our second round picks or our third round picks, get back up, get a tackle because we have to protect our quarterback. I think we need a wide receiver because we have Cliff Kingsbury as our offensive coordinator. He has an air raid offense. He likes to deploy 4 or 5 wide receiver sets. We need another wide receiver there. And then James, before we dive into the mock draft, edge, man. Like we have Dorrance Armstrong, we have Clelin Ferrell, we have the entire Cowboys defensive line on our side over there. I'm intrigued by them, but I don't know if I think they're steady enough that I feel like we need to improve that too, right? How do you feel about that?
Well, actually, Dorrance Armstrong Jr., I think that's a good pickup for y'all. I feel like he's more of you like him as the part-time guy. Y'all saw him for a lot of money for him being more of a part-time guy, but he's a guy that if you get him in good situations, he will make plays for you. I mean, 8.5 sacks a couple years ago, 7.5 this year. I feel like I always liked Dorrance Armstrong Jr. when he came out of Kansas, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. But he never got really a fair shot. We kept on waiting, and now we finally saw it. But I feel like he works off other people. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if you continue to add around him, it makes him a better player. If you put him as he's the guy, it's not going to work. He's going to be a disappointment to you. But if you continue to get other edges around him, that's when Dorrance Armstrong can really cook. He's a really good rotational player, and he'll get those sneaky sacks. I think that's his best role. But if y'all put him as, he's going to be our starter, I don't think you're going to see the return.
It's a hard jump, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to go from rotation to a starting player all the time.
Exactly. I think he's more the good rotational piece. You keep him at that, I think you'll still see a good return from him in that aspect. So him. And then who else did y'all get? Y'all got
Fowler.
Fowler's another one that hurt me because I love Dante Fowler, but I knew Fowler was going to leave as soon as
he loves Dan Quinn from Florida.
He loves Dan Quinn. Mm-hmm. He's been following Dan Quinn damn near his whole career because Dan Quinn gives him a shot. And like I said, Fowler is a starter, but you really can use him. Those two pieces are good pieces in my opinion, especially if you have other defensive ends around them. I think those are two very good rotational pieces. I think they're very solid pieces. And, you got Biadasz too. People were hating on Biadasz, but I think Biadasz will be a solid piece for y'all for a few years until y'all decide y'all want to upgrade.
We've had a lot of centers being hurt and banged up over the years. So
I think he'll be good in for what y'all want to do. And like I said, if y'all want to upgrade, later on, but for right now, I think he's a very good stopgap for you. So when they took those pieces, I wasn't crying, but I was like, those are still good pieces. If you put them around them, they'll be good. So I feel like Washington is going to be competitive. I think it's going to be us, Eagles, and you guys are going to be in the mix now. And once again, just like I told Joe, it'll be the quarterback play. We talked about the season last year with you guys. It was on Sam Howell. How is Sam Howell going to look? And me, you talked about that too, George.
Yeah.
How is Sam Howell going to look? And he really dictated the season. If you guys get a young quarterback and he hits kind of the ground running with some pieces around you, y'all going to be solid. I will say that.
Cool.
That should be a fun year. So before we get into this draft, we are going to get into the mock draft. We're going to do all 7 rounds. I'm going to try and be quick with it, so maybe you can trade back into the first round depending on how my internet loves it.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, internet, don't fail us now, internet.
I'm plugged in, so there.
Oh, you good because you clear today, so we good.
Yeah,
we
ain't
good.
no
You
excuses.
We just did a mock draft the other day, so I'll feel you, Joe. It's all good.
Exactly.
It's all going on.
It's annoying sometimes. I want to ask you though, before we get into this, what would you grade your offseason so far? Going into this draft, what would you grade the Washington offseason so far?
Could I count the ownership and all that too, or still just play?
I mean, I think that's fair. I think
That's fair.
I think you can.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I'll say B plus. I'll say B plus because I think the ownership, the coaching. I'm pumped by the coaching staff, but we haven't really talked about the free agents. We got Frankie Luvu from Carolina. I don't know if you guys have really followed him. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's nice.
He can
Eagles
blitz,
wanted
man.
him.
Yeah, he's nasty. So he's one of the better blitzing linebackers in the league. Bobby Wagner. We actually did a film study on Bobby Wagner, and he still has run support. It's a great run support linebacker. He actually led the NFL in tackles, so I'm happy with that as well. I am a little bit concerned about his pass coverage. We'll see how that goes, but I think he's savvy enough to kind of take control. So I'm happy. Like Bobby Wagner, Frankie Luvu, I think we're going to be blitzing a lot more. I think we were too conservative with Jack Del Rio, so I'm happy, man. I'm looking forward to looking forward to the games.
All right, well, let's get it. People are saying, I wonder who George wants at quarterback. So
That's gonna be this is gonna be fun because we just had me and you, Joe. Now we got a commander in here and he got the high pick. So let's see what George is doing today.
Let's do it.
You gotta wait for another person to pick now. Usually it's just me you waiting for.
Right.
It's hard to find Giants content creators, by the way. They don't come out. They talk a lot of trash on the internet, but they don't come on the YouTube.
For real. So Caleb, so this is what we were talking about. This is literally what you were talking about. That's almost a no-brainer, right?
That's a no-brainer. Please, like I'll give them a high five.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I wonder who they take. I wonder who they take if you take it.
So I'm assuming you're gonna take that.
Yeah. You're taking it? Oh,
you gonna take it, George?
Absolutely, I'll take that. That's a home run.
And you got a first and a second.
We took Malik Neighbors. That is so unrealistic.
That's unrealistic.
You want to redo this? Want to redo it?
Yeah, we can redo that. That's so
I'll take the first round pick.
That you're taking those damn Malik Neighbors.
Yeah. I want to restart it.
Yeah, I'll restart. Yeah, restart.
Yeah, you can.
That was weird. That was weird.
Yeah,
I think there's like a random setting, so make sure you turn the random setting off, like realistic picks or whatever. Something like that.
Get it real.
Yeah.
Do they have settings here somewhere?
We do. He's so funny.
I don't think they have any settings anywhere. They might have changed it.
Okay, well let's just pray.
Let's do whatever. We'll go for it.
I might have to pay
that
for that.
That was a good ass trade though for you.
That was a fantastic walking out the first round pick and all that.
I would have ran to that trade. Ran to that trade.
So we'll have a conversation. This is probably the most important pick of the draft, right?
Yeah.
So it's in there too. I would gladly take that trade, and that's ideal, right? Because I think it's a win-win with Drake May and Jaden Daniels. I think I studied the film. I watched 7 games I watched most of Jaden Daniels' season so far. He's ready to go. He can walk out on the field right now. He can play. He can scramble. His biggest concern is his slightness. He's like what? He weighed in at 210.
Yeah, he's slim fit. He's slim fit. He's
slim fit. So I'm worried about his injury. And for those of us in DC, it's a lazy comp, but it's PTSD with RG3. It scares the hell out of us. We had RG3 getting hurt. So, but he's an awesome talent. For me, I think I would go Drake May because he's 21, higher upside. Drake May, for those of you that haven't known, we're deep in the quarterback talk in DC. He's been it's him 1 and 2, like quarterback 1A, 1B for 2 years now in regard to the scouting world, right? He basically was, he actually was as a redshirt freshman led NCAA football with passing yards. So he has immense upside. But I guess quick question for you, both of y'all, because you're at the Senior Bowl. What were you guys hearing about Drake May, Jaden Daniels? I don't know if you guys heard anything. Which one scares you more as an NFC East opponent? I'm just kind of curious about that too.
Yeah, go ahead. You can go first.
My bad. For me, I'm gonna say Jaden Daniels. because of that running ability. We always have problems with them damn running backs quarterbacks that can get out the pocket and really stress your defense running the ball. So Jaden Daniels, and it wasn't like Jaden Daniels was a bad quarterback on his previous stop over at Arizona State. He was a good quarterback over there too, and he just took it to another level. And you got to look at the competition. That your competition was probably better in the SEC, and you even stepped your game up. So to me, he scares me more because I feel like Drake May, he can throw the ball, whatever, but he also could be that guy where you had all this promise and then it didn't materialize. I'm more scared of the Jaden Daniels than the Drake May, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yep.
I mean, Jaden Daniels, you said it before, right? You have a good running back, not a great one. You have an offensive line that needs to get some work and needs some patchwork, right? Best thing to do is put a guy back there that can make some things happen in the backfield. You put a Drake May back there, he's a sitting duck, so to speak. And I just have like a thing, I guess, against North Carolina quarterback has not been very successful. So I think that Jaden Daniels, to me, is the guy that scares me more. But I think both, like you said, they both have talent. You know, and my question back to you, if you guys don't mind me asking, is if Caleb Williams did not get picked number 1, I know that's the overall sentiment. Everybody says he's going to be number 1. Are you taking him at number 2?
Yeah, we're running to the podium. We love Caleb. Like he would basically be a home run superstar here because he went to Gonzaga High School in Washington D.C. He's constantly putting up like Washington Capitals, Washington Nationals images on his Instagram. Like he loves it here. We always kind of joke that he's trying to fake his way out of ball. He's trying to pull an Eli and get out of Chicago and come to D.C. It would be a home run for us, and we love him here. And honestly, he's the best quarterback. He's the best quarterback in the draft. Like we did some film work on him during on my show on Tuesdays, and he's legit. Like people say Patrick Mahomes-esque, and no one's Patrick Mahomes, but you can see some tendencies with that, like the improv. You know, he can improv. He can do some crazy things with that. So I do love that. So I'll take it. But going back to the draft, this is the dream scenario, right? Getting this trade offer, like, yes, I'll take another first-round pick. Yes, I'll take a second-round pick. And, yes, I'll take either one of Jaden Daniels or Drake May. This is I would love it if this happened to us. So come on down. I'll take that all day long.
So would you like to take the trade?
Please. I would love to.
All right.
They offered it again.
They took Drake May. There we go. At least
there we go. There we go. Realistic.
There you go. Now I'm done trading. Okay, well, let's see what else. What's the other one? Nah, neither one. That's too far down, so we can reject those. And then look, Jaden Daniels falls in our lap. With an additional first-round pick, with an additional second-round pick. That's the dream scenario for DC fans right there.
Yeah, for real. That's a great trade for you guys.
Yeah, that works out. JJ goes to the Jets. All right, so we get offered 31 and 94 for 22, which I might take. Damn, this is crazy. If this happens,
oh wow.
That's what I want. I want Fuaga or Fontenot as well. That's why.
Oh my God! I know, but look, you see them two teams. Both one of them gonna take that one of them guys.
It's crazy because like right now, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm looking at Talise and Troy and being like, I don't want the Cowboys to get either of these guys.
That's what I know you is.
And we do need a tackle at some point.
I'm going to propose a trade to the Vikings if possible, because I know y'all want to trade with us. I want to get back up in for a tackle now. They got another second-round pick, but go ahead.
I'm going to have to be quick with it.
It's all good. I think I have 34 anyway.
Go ahead and take your boy Cooper DeJean. Didn't you say?
I want to. I wouldn't mind Kool-Aid. I wouldn't mind Cooper. I wouldn't mind Jackson. I wouldn't mind the trade offer either, honestly. I think I'm going to trade back. But that's not really that much. I mean, you get another top 100 pick.
Yes. Talk to me if I got Fuaga up in here, because they love.
And there's no edge players that really stand out to me that I would take right now.
I ain't doing that.
This is tough.
Troy,
Everybody's saying go edge, but nobody in there in edge is who I would want.
This is tough for me.
The best edge, real quick, just so I can help you, Joe. We'll take a look at it. What are the best edges out there?
Like I would take these.
Isaac is nasty, Broswell, but I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't take Broswell.
Braylon Trice, Marshawn Nealon, we just had a top 30 visit with, but I don't think
I wouldn't take any of those guys at 22.
That's true. It's kind of a stretch. Those guys are more like second round picks.
Yeah,
Byron Murphy makes sense if you want to add to that middle of the field.
Well, I would take Tim Andres. Well, you already got Jordan Davis.
Yeah, and we got Jalen.
I'll get two big boys.
Damn, this is tough. I think that I have to go with the best player on the board, which to me would be Talise Fuaga. And it's funny because I was hoping that Latu fell, but Latu at the Senior Bowl said that Fuaga was one of the guys that gave him the hardest, like the best reps. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Fuaga, and we do need to figure out what's gonna happen with Lane Johnson soon enough. Yeah, I wasn't fast enough. My bad, bro.
Okay,
No, you good.
So Kool-Aid went off. You guys, I mean, this is you got to pick
for me
whoever you want.
because I like Troy. Jackson Powers Johnson is your center. And then I know Graham Barton is still up there, right there at 31. And I know they like him because they went up there. Oh, wait. I know we don't have to take an offensive lineman, y'all. Y'all Cowboys fans in here. Should I take Troy? Should I take Graham? Or should I take Jackson Powers Johnson? Because I'm struggling right here. I want to take Graham Barton over Jackson Powers Johnson because I feel like he's more versatile. He's more of the versatile player. I like Troy too. It's between Troy and Graham. It's
crazy because Jackson's I feel like his stock is going down. People are talking about his injuries.
For a while,
yeah, it's kind of weird.
His stock going down now a little bit. I know Troy because you can play him inside and outside, and I know they like Graham. I like Jackson Powers Johnson, but I feel like we need versatility. I think Graham Barton is better than Jackson Powers Johnson. Sorry, I'm gonna say Barton is better than Jackson Powers Johnson. Dang.
I was thinking this lo-fi music would help with this draft.
I hear the music in the background. I'm like, oh, this is
a tough decision, but it's a good tough decision. It's a good problem to have.
I'm gonna go with Troy. He hits the ground running. I'm gonna go with Troy. He hits the ground running. You can play him at guard or tackle. Let's do it.
I mean, I tried to pause it a little bit quicker, but I mean, I don't. Do you want to trade up one spot?
I'm good. No worries.
All right. So you do have another offer.
They just throwing picks all out shit.
I'm good. Well, let me take a look at the board first, if you don't mind. So just for the record, if I had the option, right, I basically would have potentially traded up because I had that 34 and 36 and 40. I had a lot of second round picks, so I could have easily moved back up. Because if you go up, A.D. Mitchell, I love A.D. Mitchell from Texas. That would have been a good pick as a wide receiver. He got drafted, I think, earlier on. I love Ladd McConkey as well. He's awesome. He's more of a slot wide receiver. Nice. I would have taken a tackle as well. So let me take a look at the board. We have Graham Barton, Jackson Powers Johnson, Xavier Worthy, too small. Jordan Morgan's interesting. Darius Robinson's interesting for me as well. We see TJ Tampa as well. So there's some options. Go to tackle real quick. So just to give you a thought process of a Commander fan, I'm looking at tackle, I'm looking at edge, I'm looking at wide receiver is what I'm looking for my players here. Jordan Morgan's a pretty popular pick for us.
Jordan Morgan would look good because he can slide both ways. He can slide inside and outside.
Mm-hmm. Jordan Morgan's definitely good. Rosengarten's actually a pretty solid pick for Washington, but he's later in the draft. He's not net right now, but he's a good right tackle for Washington. He protected what's his name, Penix's blind side, which is a good blocker there. Okay, so looking at Jordan Morgan, he's an option. Go to edge real quick. I want to take a look at that. Edge, Darius Robinson, Adisa Isaac.
Adisa Isaac's nice, dog.
Yeah, I like him.
Adisa Isaac is nice. I like him too. So it's funny. They're different players, right? Adisa Isaac's kind of like a slighter, more fast pass rusher. Darius Robinson is like that big hulking. You can play inside or outside, so it's interesting too. Braswell is another good player as well. And go to wide receiver real quick, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Wide receiver. Worthy's fun, but he's too small. And Troy Franklin. I mean, those are two burners right there.
Xavier Legette.
Yeah,
Ricky Pearsall.
Dude, the wide receivers are stacked.
Yeah.
Pearsall, Legette, Roman, all those guys. I could take any one of those. That's why I won't take a wide receiver here because any one of those guys would be great. Worthy's a burner. Franklin's a burner. Malachi Corley is Deebo Samuel right there, which is awesome. Legette's a big wide receiver. That's what we want in DC. So this is what I'm going to do. Go to tackle. I'm going to get Morgan just to kind of solidify my line because we got to protect our new quarterback. And I'm going to see who falls. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to accept that. Sitting there at 36. Let's go back to edge. So you have we have TJ Tampa there. Go to cornerback real quick. TJ Tampa's there as well. That's nice too, because we do need a cornerback as well. Okay.
Cornerback, I think, is deeper than people give it credit for too.
They really do, because people aren't like really talking about corner.
They really aren't. And all these guys, except for maybe, I mean, I like DJ James too, but so I'll say all these guys I think will have an impact in the NFL year one. I truly do.
All right, so take a look at that. Then we have TJ Tampa's tempting. So I'm kind of thinking about him because I think after him, I'm a little bit worried what will happen in regard to the quarterback, because I think we don't have a 4th round pick. So I kind of want to get a corner here. Go to wide receiver. Let's see if Legette's still available. I'm kind of curious about that.
Yes,
he's still there too. He's
still there.
A little bit later too. So
I'm gonna try legit. He said he liked the Cowboys, so leave him alone.
Let me see. So for me, this is my dilemma. Do I get Darius Robinson as an edge, or do I get TJ Tampa as a corner? Is kind of where I'm at. Go to Tampa real quick again. I think I'm going to get him. He's right there on the board anyway. I think I'm going to get – man, this is a hard one.
He's from Pennsylvania, so this is going to hurt.
But, here's the thing, though. With Darius Robinson, this is what I feel about Darius Robinson. I like Darius Robinson. He's got all those everything you want, athletic ability, size, and everything, but it just feels like he's ultimate boom or bust. I feel like he's either going to be really, really good, or he just, we reach for him.
He reminds me of, do you guys remember Preston Smith? Do you guys know who that is?
Yeah, I remember him.
He reminds me of Preston Smith. He's like kind of, I mean, Preston Smith is not as athletic as Robinson, but I kind of see that there. I think he's more of like Robinson's more athletic, but I see that big body, more of the edge setter in regard to that. So let's do this. Let's do that. I think I'm gonna go back. I think I'm gonna get shit. It's hard, man. It's hard being on the board. I'm gonna take Robinson. Let's go back. I'm gonna take Robinson just to kind of solidify my edges. I'm gonna get him, and I'm gonna hope that either Legette or
damn, this boy up again.
Man, I feel like that with you, Joe. When
I know how you feel.
Yeah, so now you know how I feel, right?
I know how you feel.
All right, Legette's on the board. He didn't get taken. I'm trying to see where he's at.
Which one?
Legette. There you go. He is there. Okay, he's there. And then
man, that gone.
The cornerback, is Tampa still there too? Or he already got taken. All right, so TJ Tampa's gone. Darius Robinson, I'll get Legette. I'll get him right there. That's a nice stack right there. I like that's a good start to my draft. I like that.
I'm like, I ain't never gonna pick. All right, I'm back. We back.
Finally.
All right. I mean, I ain't gonna make this hard. I ain't gonna make this too long. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about, I know who 2 people I want to take. I'm a little worried that depending on who I take first, the other person will be gone. But I'm gonna take Edgerrin Cooper here.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna hope.
There you go. He always taking Cooper.
How do you feel about?
Oh my God, I hate y'all. I hate the Rams. Like every time I think about trying to get Trey Benson, it's like 2 or 3 picks. They always take him right before me. Every time.
What was you gonna say though, George? What about?
I was saying Devin White. How do you feel about him? I feel he's kind of like a boomer bust kind of addition to the team.
Yeah, I think it's he's young, so I'm hoping that we get the 2020 version of him, right? I live out here in Tampa, so I see him play. I've went to a couple of games. Obviously, everybody out here is a Tampa Bay Bucks fan. So I've heard mixed things. I've heard he might have just been mad last year. He didn't really want to play for us. I've also heard that he just doesn't have it anymore. So I have my hands up in the air. I'm not putting him as the savior of this linebacker group. I think that you still have to go into this draft and get you some linebackers, especially for the future. If he's great, awesome, extend him, and he'll be a Eagle for life. But other than that, I'm not too high on him. I'm not too
low. Right? I got you.
Yeah, and especially for the money that you got, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna make this real easy. I took Edgerrin Cooper. I'm taking Adisa Isaac. We needed a defensive end, and I think that's the perfect guy to take. You want a 7th round pick?
Hell no.
What about a 1st round pick? Damn. That's far back.
I'm not dropping that far. Hell no. All right, so let's see right here. Can we go to all right, I got my offensive lineman. Let's look at receivers.
That's definitely where I want to look at next.
Because I know Devontae Walker, he's gonna be gone, but that's a reach because he got bad hands, but he could be good. Running back. See, they be wanting that Jonathan Brooks. I don't want him that early. Scroll down a little bit for me, big dog.
Corum, Lucky Irving. Jalen Wright's a burner too.
Yes.
Yeah, Jalen Wright.
You know what? See, I'm not going to reach on no running back right now because I can get him later.
Mhm.
Let me go to defense. What my defensive tackles looking like?
Your boy there. Both
Yeah,
your boys.
but I got Hall higher than Fist now because of the upside. But let's hit that linebacker because I know I got to give me a backer too. Let's see, because I know Peyton gonna be gone. If I don't pick him now,
I can't believe he's still there. To be honest, that's crazy.
You think so? I don't think so. I think Peyton Wilson be going by 87. Nah, he'll be gone.
That's what I'm saying. I can't believe he's still on the board. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get Peyton Wilson. I know what everybody dogs us about second round and injuries. I don't give a hell.
And guess who's back? You got 2 offers.
I'm good. there. The Falcons one wasn't that bad. They're dude throwing me picks. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's go to the big board. Let's sit on the big board. Michael Hall, Raylan Trice, Max Melton. Okay.
Brandon
That's
Fisk is a dog, though.
What's that?
Brandon Fisk is a dog.
Yeah, he is.
He look like he would fit your squad.
He would. He actually would kind of you create a little balance. Like we need more depth at our defensive tackle too. We have those top 2, but we have that. Let me see. Devontae Walker. So we got a wide receiver, we got a edge, and we got a quarterback so far. We got a tackle too, didn't we?
Yep.
Let's look at the offensive line one more time. Let me take a look at that. So I want to maybe solidify that more if there is anybody still available. Let's go up. Rosengarten's still there. I don't know if I take him yet. Offensive guard, I don't see anybody I love up here right now. All right. Let's go back to the big board again. Let me take a look. So I have 67, 78, and 100, right? I think I still have 3 more picks in the 3rd round. So I'm in good shape, actually. Max Melton. So I'm looking at Max Melton. I'm looking at Fisk. That's a good one. Keep going down. Ricky Pearsall's a great player, but I already got a wide receiver already. Let's take a look. Javon Bullard, Georgia.
I love Max Melton. I'm just going to throw that out there. It would hurt for me to see that.
I'll see about grabbing him, I think.
I felt when as soon as you said Max Melton, I felt Joe's heart jump.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. Go back to corners. Let's see what other corners even available. I think that's what I'm going to go right here. Go up a little bit. Yeah, he's kind of the one. And then go to safety real quick. Let me see if any other safeties that are out there too. No one I love. I don't know if you guys have any sleeper names that you guys kind of know off the top of your head, but I don't really see any safeties that I love around here.
I like Cole Bishop. I like Malik Mustafa. I love Malik Mustafa.
Mustafa's a good one. I could see that.
Yeah, I think he's like, to me, and I know people are going to
Javon Bullard is
he's
nice.
good too. Yeah, but I think to me, Malik Mustafa is the best safety in this class. That's personally, but I know a lot of people have their opinions, but I think Malik's probably the most versatile. And
go back to the big board again. I think I'm going to do Max Melton. I know you're going to be mad at me about that, but I need a corner. I was looking at a corner last time, so I'm going to get right there.
Right now, you got a haul right now. Jaden Daniels, Jordan Morgan, Darius Robinson, Xavier Good. Right now, you got a haul.
Yeah, I like it. It's going good.
So you thinking Max Melton?
Max Melton. Sorry about that, Joe.
Yeah, I heard.
He's good, man. He's a good player.
He is. He's very good. I know his cousin too. So
me up again.
Yeah.
This draft ain't gonna be fun.
Oh, Mike Hall's still on the board? Damn. Okay.
Oh my God, I hate y'all.
Mike Hall's on the board. The Fisk, what's kind of funny that Fisk left and Mike also on the board. Yeah, I mean, Mike Hall might be a no-brainer to be honest with you. But let's take a look at go to offense and see what's like the best offensive players. Okay. Let me take a look. Now, no one I'm in love with. I got my eye on Rosengarten later on. If he's around 100, I might look at him like at 100 because I still have another pick down the road. Go to defense real quick overall. Like a whole Cole Bishop, a couple other people over there. I might solidify my defensive line. I mean, just take BPA in the 3rd round, right? Kind of the way to go. Yeah, man, I'm gonna take Michael Hall. Let's do it.
You see how we quiet, right? Whenever you pick up somebody, we're like,
that real joke. We just say quiet. We don't say a word.
We just quiet as hell.
Now I really hate you, yeah, Commanders. I really hate you.
I'm going to draft.
And Cleveland going to go ahead and take. See, I'm getting frustrated, y'all. You take Devontae Walker 2 picks before me. Ah!
He gonna have to buy a new mic.
Man. Go ahead.
All right, so
You,
I'm up now.
Thank you, Radar.
Can I go to defensive tackles?
I can tell you who's not there.
Exactly.
I mean, still some decent players though.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to jump and reach for Jordan Jefferson, but I need a defensive tackle because we got rid of freaking Jonathan Hankins. All we got is Mosley and Carlos freaking Carl Davis. Are we serious right now?
What's up, Scott?
I'm gonna go with Jordan Jefferson right here. It might be a little bit of a reach. He might be going higher than that, but I need a D tackle. I need a load up. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit him right here.
And guess who else?
Y'all took all the good players.
Yeah, good picks. I love it, man. But we have a big drop off after here. So let me take a look. So
yeah, but everybody gone by then.
That's why I'm happy right here. So my thought process, tight ends definitely on my radar. I don't mind taking a risk at a running back because we got Austin Eckler during the offseason, but like he's kind of a 1 year thing. We don't even know what's going to happen with him. Jalen Wright's definitely interesting to me. I don't know if he's still on the board. Yeah, he is on the board. He's a burner, man. I might take him and be happy with that. What's up with the tight ends? Let me take a look at the tight ends real quick. Tight ends, Cade Stover. Theo Johnson's pretty solid. I like Jaheim Bell a lot too, so that's definitely interesting there.
I think this is another position group that is pretty deep. Maybe not, the top tier talent. It does fall off after. I forget his name now. Why did I forget his name? Bowers. I don't know. I forget his first.
Yeah, Bowers. And David Sanders
at
the Texas tight end. He's pretty good too.
I think people see how good he is and then just be like, oh, the rest suck. No, I think that this is a pretty darn good tight end group.
Let me look at the offensive. Let me look at offensive tackle and guards one more time. Just kind of see what's over there.
Kieran is really good.
He is pretty good. Okay, and then offensive guard.
Zach Zinter is really good.
Got you. And then let me see. Go to my picks real quick. We can draft results of my picks. I want to see what my balance I got. So I have Daniels, Morgan. I got a lot of offense, actually, believe it or not. A couple of defense, too. This might be a reach, but this is kind of like a George Carmi pick because I love the player. I want to pick Jalen Wright, man. Go to running back and give me him. He's a burner, man. I want to add some more talent to that room, and it might be a stretch, but I like it.
I respect that. I respect. You have the draft capital to take chances.
Mm-hmm.
You put me in a horrible position, though, but it is what it is. Ain't nobody I really love. I do like Andrew Phillips. We did meet with him. I like Cam Hart. I like Shaw Smith Wade. We saw him at the Senior Bowl. I love Jarvis Brownlee. I think that he's going to be really, really good. Nehemiah Pritchett, I like. Quantez Stingers is somebody that people keep on telling me I should like. I saw a couple of his tapes. He looks pretty good. He's a bigger guy. But I think the Eagles, we really, really need to worry about tight end.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting old at that position. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got over 200 people, 220 people in the chat. So definitely hit that like, hit that subscribe. Go follow George if you don't already. And yes, I am kind of stalling. So let me see when I pick next. All right. I do think that we need a tight end, but if my guy is here and he is, I'm going to go with him. Malik Mustafa, and now I get to explain why I'm so high on him. I think that he's just the most versatile player in this draft, and I mean player. I think that he can do everything. He's played on the defensive line. He's played as a linebacker. He's played in the box as a safety. He's played up top. He's played in the slot. He's done a little bit of everything, and he's done everything at a high level. He was the leader of that Wake Forest defense, and he is a little undersized, but he is a dog. And, when I did talk to him at the Senior Bowl, he said that he models his game after guys like Buda Baker. So I just love the player. And you got a George Carmi pick. I got a Joe Castro pick. So
there you go.
I love the guy. So, but yeah, that's my pick. And Washington's back. But I think this is your last pick, if I'm not mistaken. Or second.
I think so. I didn't account for this because this is the 4th round pick that I got from the trade back. Because in real life, we don't have a 4th round pick. Kind of threw me off a little bit. Go to tight end real quick. I want to see what we have at tight end over here. Jaheim Bell. So I love Jaheim Bell. So I think I might actually get him in a second. Well, let me see what else we got. Go to all. Let me take a look at the all board. Marshall Lloyd, Theo Johnson. People like Theo Johnson. I like Bell because I think he's kind of more of like a Bell can be like a H-back kind of. Brendan Rice is actually a sleeper pick too. We already got one wide receiver. What else we got? And then do one more thing. Go to offensive tackle one more time because I do want to keep adding to that offensive line. Same word about that. Christian Jones, people like him. I'm going to kind of wait on him one more pick. And then you guys help me. I need some input from y'all because I know you guys have a good eye. Go to defense and safety. What are your thoughts on the safety class? Do you guys see anybody that you actually like that stands out to you? Like educate me on a prospect. I won't draft him though. I'm just kind of curious. Anybody good?
Kenton Oladipo is an interesting guy. He's a bigger dude. I think that correct me if I'm wrong, James. Weren't they playing him a lot at linebacker at the Super Bowl?
Yeah, they were playing him a lot at linebacker. Josh Proctor is somebody you keep an eye on too as well.
I like Jalen Carlisle's a lot. I think that he's a sleeper. Tyke Smith is a very interesting player as well. Outside of that, though, Sione Vaki is pretty good. Damani Richardson, I really do like. But that's really about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because I was say like our safeties are actually decent. Like we have great hybrid safeties. We have Jeremy Chin now. We have him. I know we have Derek Forrest, James's boy. We have him in our team too, which I like as well. We have Percy Butler, who's pretty good. I mean, we have a couple of players like we have Quan Martin, who's kind of a free safety slot hybrid. So we have some good safeties. But I want like a true center fielder, but I don't see one on here right now. So we'll go back to the all board again, if you don't mind, Joe. Sorry, one more time.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna pick. It might be a reach. I might get dinged on it, but I want to get Jaheim Bell. Is he on here to sort out a little bit? Maybe on tight end. Yeah, I like him. He's a good player. He's fun to watch.
Where they got him ranked, 139.
Yeah, I need him kind of as a. We need more tight end help. We have your boy Zach Ertz right now as our starting tight end. I'm not worried. I'm worried about that.
Damn, Jarvis Brownlee. What higher than I really expected. I never thought he would go that high, but hey, shout out to him. And you guys are back.
Damn. Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
All right, let's scroll down a little bit and see what we got on the board over here.
George ain't coming back on here. When we do our draft, we get live back on.
Let's see. I don't see anybody I'm in love with on here, to be honest with you. Christian Jones, I like him, but I want to see if I can wait. How many more picks do I have left? Because I know we kind of traded, we kind of messed up the flow.
I think you have 2 left. This one and one more, yeah. So 2.
We're at 1 pick. We only have 2 more. Let's get that tackle from Texas, Christian Jones. I know it's kind of a reach pick, but we just want to solidify our offensive line as a prospect. We'll get him. He's gonna be a little more of a reach. I might get dinged on the grade there, but it's all good.
I like him a lot. I'm good on trade, man. I'm good on trade. Even though that wasn't too bad. Hold on. What was that? Move back 9 and move back. I'm gonna do that actually. With that, pick 3 times.
Do you really have
Damn, you got 3 back-to-back picks?
Yeah, because of that trade. Just because of that trade.
Oh my God.
2 in a row in real life. Is that what that is?
Yeah, we have 2 in a row.
Okay.
All right. So where am I at? What do I have so far? Damn, I got
When do I pick again? Damn, 170. Where we at now?
170. So you go right after me.
Okay, Jesus.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Luke McCaffrey here because we need a wide receiver. Let me see here. I like Anaya Smith, not here though. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Luke McCaffrey.
I can honestly really see now being in a war room with just us when we do this, how teams can really don't like each other will really take a pick just so you can't get it. Like I can really, I used to never think that, but now that we've been doing all this for these last few years, I can see where they're like, nope, he ain't getting them. We're just gonna take him so he don't get them.
Yeah.
I hate how the tight ends fell. I like Brevin Spain-Ford. I might reach on him. I hate how that fell. All right, let's see what we got. You know what? I'm going to do it. I haven't picked him in a long time. We do need to figure out what we're going to do behind Saquon Barkley. Obviously, we do have Kenny Gainwell, but Kenny Gainwell really isn't good. I'm sorry. Dylan Lube, I think, will be an interesting prospect. He can catch the ball. He can obviously run the ball. He showed the heck out at the Senior Bowl, so we're gonna go with Dylan Lube. And I am gonna reach here a little bit. It is what it is, but I think that Brevin Spainford would make a lot of sense for the Eagles. He's a bigger guy. He can block. He can catch the ball, but he can definitely block. So I'm gonna go with Brevin Spainford. Maybe not the best of it.
I don't want to trade. I'm just pissed right now. My draft. I'm just pissed right now. Go to running back. Go to running back. My
Got some
God.
guard.
Man, who?
Carson Steele's good.
I ain't no dogs.
Yeah,
They
I
took
seen
all.
anybody
They took everybody I wanted. This draft just sucks right now. This is my worst draft, y'all. So don't hold me to this one. This draft absolutely sucks. I don't like it. I mean, it don't suck, but I just don't like it. I wanted a better running back. They took my running backs. They took my daggone receivers.
Me and George teamed up on this one.
Yeah, y'all did. Y'all just went out. Y'all just was hating on Cowboys. This was the hate on Cowboys draft.
Keep talking about Corum in the chat. I like Corum a lot too. I think it's a great player.
I don't like no Corum. I don't want no Blake
He's
Corum.
small, but I like him.
I don't want him. No.
Yeah.
He was gonna be
He's
like the
overrated.
number one guy last year.
He's gonna be overrated. Yeah, Vidal. I know Vidal. This is just upsetting.
Who's your starting running back right now?
That's a good question.
Freaking Rico Dowdle. We got rid of Tony Pollard. We don't have nobody, and then we got look up Blake Watson for me. I don't like these guys. I just don't. I don't want nobody that small. I mean, but Vidal. But you know what? Vidal ran hard in that. Go to Vidal. Hell no. We already got a 5'7" dude.
I think Isaiah's like 5'10". Yeah, he's 6 feet tall.
Wow. South Dakota State, though. Are we serious?
Hey, Rose Funny said you can get Zeke again. Get Ezekiel.
Man, please. I already nixed that. I told him I'd rather go for daggone Cooks.
Which Cooks?
I mean,
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook.
That's funny.
Because, I mean, when you looked at everybody like he fell off, he didn't fall off. They had Breece Hall. He wasn't playing over Breece Hall. He had 1,100 the year before. He wasn't falling off. He wasn't taking over Breece Hall. So how did he fall off? You know what I'm saying? No, but he has more speed. So I'm going to just go ahead and take, man. I'm just mad.
Ali here.
Yeah.
It's slim pickings now, man. For real.
This is slim. This is slim, dog. I might as well damn to get another offensive lineman. Where's my offensive lineman at?
Oof.
Yuck. Y'all done took everybody, dog. Like, seriously.
Yeah, it's slim right now.
There is nothing. Defensive tackles. Well, I can get accommodated later. Yeah, but I'm not good now. Let me edge. Bro, this is terrible. This draft ain't as hyped as it is. It's top.
It's hard.
It's a top heavy. It's a top heavy draft, but that depth, it looks like it just falls off right after that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, once you get out like the 5th round, you're really
You're reaching. My God. Go back to running back. Yeah. What my linebackers? I might double up on linebackers. I feel you. Go back to linebacker. Let me get I'm gonna get Maris right here.
damn.
Yep. Y'all taking mine, so can I take somebody, please?
That's definitely who I wanted.
Yeah, I feel you, Ben. I might go after Vidal later, Ben. I feel you. I like Vidal in that. He played good in that Senior Bowl.
So I probably am gonna take Tommy Eckenberg.
I knew you were. Mm-hmm.
I wanted Maurice, but
I know you did.
maybe I'll take Jaden Crumity just to get you mad. Let me see what we got I wouldn't be mad at Jake Nugent, but maybe it's, I mean, this is my last pick, so I'm gonna go with the commodity I know more about, and that's Tommy Eckenberg. This is
Good
really,
player. That's a
yeah,
good
this
pick.
is really just saying, whether or not Devin White is good, we're gonna be okay. That's
Mhm.
basically what I'm saying. So let's go.
I was gonna take him if you didn't take it.
He's good, man. He is definitely good. I'm surprised he's fallen so far.
Yeah, that's me too.
All right, and then Cowboys. You guys are the kings of the, last
Late round picks.
King of the yuck picks. Can we go to running back again? Let me see if he's still there. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and scoop up Votto here because I liked him in that Senior Bowl. He looked really, really good. He played really, really well. So we're just gonna scoop him right now. Shout out to you, Ben Larimore. He knows the stuff.
DC Roll Ride's right. I agree with him. He said there's always a solid running back gets drafted later rounds as undrafted free.
Yeah,
I mean that's
Facts,
where
DC.
exactly right. So in the 7th round, that's what you're looking at. If you're a savvy, pro personnel guy, you're going to be looking at people that play special teams. You'll be looking at running backs, wide receivers. There'll be a linebacker that can play punt coverage, or you could potentially look at a quarterback that you don't want to hit the undrafted free agent market and kind of have him as kind of a person you kind of have stock up, kind of go through your system. I don't see anybody I love. And let me just look at quarterbacks, if there's anybody interested in kind of having the system. Quarterback, yeah. It's kind of, because we have Jake Fromm as our 3rd guy. Slavis. No, I don't see anyone really good there.
Damn, I remember Keaton Slavis in Madden.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember him. So it's funny, as a Maryland boy, Tua's little brother, Leah, I'm not going to draft him, but I'm going to talk to him after the draft and see if I can pick him up. He's right there from Maryland. Let me go to wide receivers real quick, see if there's anybody worth looking at there. Any burners or anything like that we can kind of get on the team. I don't see anybody that really pops out to me. All right, we already got a running back. Let me go to tight end. There's nobody at tight end, right? You already looked over there. Tip Reinman as a blocking tight end, potentially. I can grab him. He actually showed out at the combine. I was impressed by that. Let's go to offensive tackle, offensive guard. All right. Let me say no one really I know that pops out over there. And then go to defense real quick. Let's go to corner. And let's see if there's anyone who's even kind of a intriguing prospect to kind of jump over there. Yeah, I don't see anybody that to be honest with you, too familiar with. I don't really feel anyone I'm really in love with at all. So let's go back to on the big board. Look at that real quick. Let's kind of find someone that kind of suits the position that potentially we could get there. Well, Honker for the tight end is actually from Colorado State. It's not that bad, actually. Miles Harden. Austin Steele. You know what? This is maybe space to solidify just kind of the interior offensive line. Go back up real quick to Nugent. So I think down there from Michigan. We'll get him, just kind of put him as a depth position for interior offensive line. I mean, whatever, just kind of build it up a little bit. Get some undrafted free agents, a wide receiver, and running back.
That's a good pick. Got Cowboys back on the board.
All right, so what are we looking at?
Pretty sure we finish this up.
Let's go to cornerbacks.
So just so you know, you still got one more pick after this, if that.
Okay. Slide down. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and check. Go to defensive tackle. You know what I'm getting. You know what I'm getting right here. If he's still here, they probably might have took him by finally.
Damn, they took him.
They finally took him, so they must know me now. So they just we know you, James. We ain't letting you take him no more, dog. We ain't letting you take him no more. Where'd he go?
That's what I want to see, dog.
Who you looking for?
Look, he went to the Rams.
The Rams is a nemesis right there. It's funny.
Yeah, you Rams getting on my damn nerves. All right, so I need another defensive tackle for real.
Fabian Lovett is really good. Not really good, but he's pretty good.
What's his size? I need a real space eater.
Don't even say. I think he's a big boy though. I'll get you the exact.
I think I was gonna buy you doing that, Joe, if you want.
He's 6'4", 318.
That's not crazy. Let's go to. I need a corner. Go back to corner. I need to give me a corner here. Go ahead, and grab my guy Kamal from Tennessee.
The corner? Oh, come on.
Mm-hmm.
And this will end up good.
And then we'll end it with. Let me go with offensive line. I didn't even get a receiver. This is terrible. Yeah, go to all. This is crazy.
Hey, it's a weaker in 7th round, so it's a dart throw at that point. Kind of looking at for position.
For real.
I like Andrew Ram and I like Gabriel Murphy. Those are probably the two people on here if I had another pick. And Darius Masal, but Carter Bradley, I liked at the Senior Bowl.
This is crazy. All right, scroll up. This is the crapshoot. Let me get James Cora.
James Madison, 6'3". He's athletic, 9.63 on his RAS score.
Yeah, he's an athletic guy. So let me just screen. This is frustrating.
All right, so that is the draft.
You just racked up, George.
My man's whacked. Damn. So I don't want to go through every single pick because I got to go to work at 1 o'clock. So
We'll be here another hour.
Yeah, but I do want to ask you, Jay.
Impact picks.
George, yeah. What are some of your favorite picks? 1 and 2. What would you grade yourself on your draft?
So I love the draft. I'm walking away happy. I think I'll give myself an A. I don't want to be a jerk or anything like that, but I think the reason why
that's an A draft.
Walking away with a 1st round pick on top of that too. I got a 1st round
Yeah.
pick on top of that entire draft right there. I like getting Leggett later. I think that's a great addition because our wide receivers are kind of we have more like route running wide receivers. We have
damn good draft, George.
I'm happy with that. Jaden Daniels, high upside quarterback. I got 2 tackles to kind of solidify the offensive line, even the interior offensive line with Nugent. I love the high upside Jalen Wright with the 100, with the pickup at 100. Like, that's a speed back right there. Jaheim Bell, people kind of are 50-50 on him, but I like him I think he's a pretty great route runner as well. So I love that draft, man. So I'm happy with it altogether. Max Melton. I mean, dude, it's a pretty damn good draft. I'm not gonna lie, I like it.
Yeah, I'm mad about the Max Melton pick. I am definitely mad about the Max Melton. It is. I mean, that's a hell of a
Look, James hating in the chat. I love it. That's so fun.
I'm straight hating. I'm hating. I am hating. I hate your draft. It was a damn good draft. Obviously, we've never seen any of these players play in the NFL, but if you're just going on the trajectory, and you got a 1st round pick, you just hit a lot of spots, and I really don't like it. I feel like if those guys hit the ground running, you guys are in for a treat. As far as my draft, I feel like it's mid. I said it. Some people said it in here too. It is a mid draft. I'll totally admit it's a mid draft. The players I like was obviously your boy Troy from Washington. I feel like he can hit the ground running. He can slide inside or outside like right now. You don't have to wait. I also like Peyton Wilson. I think he's a linebacker that can come in and play right now. I like him. Jordan Jefferson, I felt like I reached, but I need a defensive tackle, and then I would say Maris. So I got 2 linebackers, I got an offensive tackle, and I got a D tackle. So those first 4 picks, I can say I'm cool with. I'm not jumping for joy with, but I'll work. But yeah, this is a mid draft, and I'll be the first to admit. If I give myself a grade on it, I'm gonna give it a C draft.
I respect it. I would say If Talise falls to us, that's a huge. I mean, it's not something that may impact us right now, but that's huge. I like my draft. I would have loved to get a tight end a little bit earlier, maybe a running back or wide receiver a little bit earlier, but I'm not mad at any of these picks, to be 100% honest with you. I would say a solid B minus. I think B minus, something in that range, I think would be fair. Did you give a grade for yours, George?
Yeah, I said A.
Yeah.
Always being a hater. It's a good draft. I'm happy with it, man. It's good. Especially the first round pick is a cherry on top. I think I really elevated it. And then trade back. And that's what I want. If that trade offer comes to Washington, don't even think twice about it. Take that, jump on that, man, for sure.
Yeah, that was insane. That was an insane offer. So I'm sure we'll do this again. I'm sure we'll, all hook up together and get this a little bit closer to the draft. Maybe during the draft show, maybe we'll have you on as well. But y'all got anything? Yeah, we have 230 people in the chat still. So shout out to all y'all. Y'all killed the conversation as always. Y'all are amazing. Be sure to hit follow my guy George Carmi on his YouTube channel. On his Twitter, he has his Twitter handle right next to his name. So go show my guy some love, man, because he does amazing coverage. But do you guys want to say anything to these amazing people before we get out of here and I have to go to work because I'm a normal person?
Well, first of all, let me say thank you guys, man. I love talking to you guys. It's good, man. We talk to each other every couple of months, but it's like family every time we're on here together. I love it, man. Good people. The chat's been dope, man. You guys are definitely fun to talk to. Definitely follow me, George Carmi, on YouTube. I'm definitely trying to expand my brand. We have some good guests coming up. We have Quincy Avery's coming on Tuesday. He's going to be actually on Monday. He's a quarterbacks coach of some he's a quarterback coach for professional athletes. So definitely want to talk about him and looking at the different draft class. And Matt Harmon, if you guys know who that is, Perception, coming on Friday for my show as well. So definitely check it out. Appreciate y'all. Follow you guys back, dude. Thank you guys.
You got anything you want to say to these guys, James?
Just another great chat, another great time. Glad you jumped on here, George. It was a good time as far as us meeting, but it's talking again. But as far as the draft and all the other stuff, no, it wasn't a good time.
You're going to hold on to that for a while.
I'm going to hold this draft. That hurt me bad.
Anytime, fellas. I love it.
that hurt me. I already can't stand you Commanders, and then when you get a draft like that, that just makes me want to fight y'all. But look, I appreciate you, dog. Always comes with those great knowledge. I love hearing your perspectives because it gives us knowledge about the Commanders like Joe does with the Eagles. So feel free to come back anytime. We love doing this. And, draft time is right around the corner. Once again, selfish plug. Me and Joe are going to try to be at that draft. I know Joe is on his stuff. I won't be there. So me and Joe are trying to be back at the draft in Detroit. So make sure you be checking on that. That's going to be fire. Joe told me. And I did send Joe, the people, what you told me to do. I sent that to them. They said we on it. So, we trying to do red carpet at this draft, baby. So make sure y'all pay attention to this draft like y'all did the Senior Bowl. Big game. James, Joe Castro, about to do it, baby.
Yes, sir. And y'all can help us, actually, because next week we're going to do the same thing with a Giants content creator. We know some Giants content creators, but we want y'all to – we know y'all –
suggestions.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know if there's anybody specific that y'all would want us to bring on the show. And we'll make it happen, man. But still got 225 people in here. Can't thank you guys enough. But other than that, y'all know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm Joe. That's James. And the guy down there that pissed us both off is George Carmi. We are the best of enemies. Peace.
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored.